Okay, today we are going to discuss about oral cavity. I hope you know about uh, details of oral cavity, but we'll revise it. Then, what is the other name of oral cavity?
Sir, I don't know, sir.
Oral cavity, right? Right. Oral cavity. So it is also known as buccal cavity, right? In biology, cavity it means empty space, empty space. So here, the empty space present in the mouth is called oral cavity, and it is also known as buccal cavity. And here, this is the second part of the alimentary canal. You know, the alimentary canal starts from the mouth and ends with the anus, and there are different parts you can find, starting with the mouth, the oral cavity, pharynx, then esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, and anus. So at the same time, you can find there are three parts in the small intestine, like duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. And similarly, there are three parts in the large intestine, like cecum, colon, rectum. So these are different parts of the alimentary canal. When you see the sequence of these parts, you can find the second position. So mouth and oral cavity. Then there are different types of parts you could see in the oral cavity. Like what do you see in the oral cavity? First of all, you can locate teeth and tongue, and at the same time you could not able to see the glands. There are different types of the glands which we call salivary glands. Right. So now you know teeth. I need not explain the importance of teeth and their hard structures which help in the physical digestion. So generally the digestion we can divide into three categories like physical digestion, chemical digestion, and microbial digestion. When digestion, it is well known that conversion of complex into simple, mostly with the help of enzymes. When the enzymes are involved, the chemical nature of the substances will change, which we call chemical digestion. When you come to the teeth, something the food which you take into your mouth and you start masticating, by that the size of the food will get reduced. When the size of the food gets reduced, it increases the surface area. By that, enzymes can act well and proper digestion will take place. So mastication is very, very important, foremost thing for the proper digestion. So digestion is very, very essential as this is the system which provides the nourishment to all the parts of the body. And that's why if you find any kind of disease, somehow it is related to digestive system. When the nutrient supply is not proper, it leads to various kinds of dysfunctioning of the body. Okay, now teeth they help in physical digestion. That means they break the food into larger, into smaller. By that, it can increase the surface area. When you notice the feeding habits, eating habits of humans, humans can take a plant origin food, I mean plant-based food, and even animal-based food. Some people may not eat I mean meat or fish something. It doesn't mean they are something like herbivores. Basically human is omnivore, and their lifestyles may be different, but we are born as omnivores. We are capable of eating plant and animal based foods, and for that to eat all kinds of food, to masticate all kinds of food, and our teeth are well developed and they are modified into four types like incisors, canines, premolars, and molars. So these are four categories. Like this, we have four types of teeth in your mouth. In our mouth, that is what we call heterodont. Hetero means different. Heterodont. Having different types of teeth is known as heterodont. In an adult, if you find the teeth, incisors will be 8, canines will be 4, premolars will be 8, and molars will be 12. Altogether, 32 teeth are present in the buccal cavity of an adult. If you observe your teeth, there will be only 28. The reason, the molars, the last set of the molars, that means in upper jaw here one, and in lower jaw here one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. These four teeth will arise after the age of 18, which we call wisdom teeth. Wisdom teeth. So they will arise after 18 years, hence in your mouth you could find only 28 teeth. It is well known that teeth will arise two times in the life cycle of human. So that condition is called diphyodont. That means diphyodont. It means that we will develop teeth twice in our lifetime, which we call diphyodont. It is not applicable to all types of teeth, basically. Because wisdom teeth, they will come after the age of 18 years. If they fall, no wisdom teeth can be grown again. For example, if any infection, if you or the doctor's dentist, if they remove, then new teeth will not come. Diphyodont is not applicable for the wisdom teeth and for the premolars. It is very, very important question. Why wisdom teeth is okay, they develop after 18 years. What about premolars? Two times we develop the teeth. The first time the teeth are called milk teeth or deciduous teeth, popularly known as milk teeth. In milk teeth, so the total number of teeth will be 20 only. 20. 20. Why 20? Because there are no premolars in the milk teeth, there are no wisdom teeth. Wisdom teeth are 4 and premolars are 8. 8 plus 4, 12. So 32 minus 12, total will become 20. So here diphyodont is not applicable to the premolars and wisdom teeth as they grow only one time. It is very, very important question. So incisors you will get two times, okay? Canines you'll get two times, and molars, first three sets of molars you'll get, uh, I mean, first two sets, what do you say? Two sets you will get two times. Last set wisdom teeth will get only one time, and these two, wisdom teeth and premolars, are exception to the diphyodont. They are formed only one time. That is important question. And we will represent this arrangement of teeth. The arrangement of teeth in the jaws is called dentition. In dentition, we will represent with a formula which we call dental formula. What do you mean by dental formula? Just we'll take only half of the mouth, this part, only this half. And in this upper jaw, how many are there? Lower jaw, how many are there? That we will put. So in this order. So in upper jaw, if you take only half, in incisors will be in upper jaw 2 and in lower jaw 2. Only half we are taking. Then this is incisors and canines 1 by 1 and premolars 2 by 2 and molars 3 by 3. So simply you can write 2, 1, 2, 3 by 2, 1, 2, 3. This is what we call dental formula. So dental formula of an adult. If at all you want to write the dental formula of milk teeth, so then what will be, there will be change in the premolars and molars, because premolars are not there. So we'll write 2, 1, 0. Instead of 3, we'll write 2. So 2, 1, 0, 2. So this milk teeth, when you multiply with the 2, you will get a total number of teeth. So this is dental formula. So note down, human dental formula is 2123 by 2123. If they ask the milk teeth dental formula, then you have to go for 2102 by 2102. This is all about the teeth. Teeth are well fixed in the sockets of the jaw. They are fixed. This fixation, the arrangement, how they are fixed is called thecodont. Thecodont. No doubt. So these three terms are very important: heterodont, diphyodont, and thecodont. Heterodont, having different types of teeth. Diphyodont, developing teeth 2 times in the lifetime. Thecodont, the fixation of the teeth in the sockets of the jaw. Right.
Sir,
The
can you repeat
hardest
Ticoran
substance.
from meaning, sir?
Thecodont means, you see, the teeth in the jaw, they are well fixed in the socket. So they are fixed like this. No, this fixation. So write down thecodont. The arrangement of the teeth in the sockets of the jaw. The arrangement of the teeth in the sockets of the jaw is called thecodont. Right?
Yes, sir, written, sir.
Yes. So right, even do you understand dental formula? Any doubts here?
No doubt, sir.
Oh, fine. So here, the teeth are made of a substance called dentine. No doubt, dentine. And this dentine is covered with a layer which we call enamel. Enamel. Enamel is the most hardest substance in human body. Enamel is the most hardest substance, and the second hardest is dentine, and the third hardest is the bone. These are the three hardest substance. After the death, if the person is buried, and here because of this hardness, they could be long lasting. They do not easily decompose. This is the reason we can find fossils in order to study the past life, which we call evolution. They'll help in understanding in evolution fossils. So this
Sir,
is
can you say
about
the
teeth.
hardest materials in our body, second and third, sir?
Second is dentine. Third is bone.
Okay, sir.
Bone. Bone. All right. So now I hope you know that the function of, use of these different types of teeth. They are for the different purposes. When you come to incisors, they help to cut the food, so they are called cutting teeth. Cutting teeth. Incisors are also known as cutting teeth because in herbivores they are well developed because they have to cut the grass as much as possible. So cutting teeth are well developed in herbivores. Canines. So canines are well developed in the carnivores. You can find cheetah, tiger, lion. So this teeth, canine, Dracula, you might have seen some movies. So here teeth with the pointed end, well developed in order to tear the meat. So tearing teeth we call tearing. When you come to premolars and molars, they form the chick, we call it as the chick teeth, or else they help in mastication. So they are called grinding teeth, both premolars and molars together. We can say them as grinding teeth. These are different other names based on the function, based on the usage of different types of teeth. In herbivores, you do not find the canines. That is important. Even you might have seen a rabbit there. There is an empty space which we call diastema. Diastema. So, in herbivores, canines are absent. Canines are absent, and at the place of canines there is an empty space. At the place of canines there is an empty space which we call. I'm talking about herbivores. Diastema. Diastema.
Sir, then they have no
Right.
teeth placing the canines, sir.
No. I'm talking about canines are absent in the herbivores.
Okay, sir.
Now let's move to the next tongue. You know tongue. It is also called a lingua. The other name of tongue is lingua. Ling. That's why bilingual, linguistic. So there are different terms related to this, related to language, because without tongue we cannot talk. So the basis of language, tongue. So here, this tongue, along with in, in talking, is okay, and moreover, and it is a very important organ which can spread the food in between the teeth while mastication. So it will help in mastication, one thing. And more importantly, there are taste buds over the tongue which can help in recognition of taste. Next, coming to the salivary glands in mammals, especially in humans, when you consider, there are three types of salivary glands. There are parotid glands, sublingual glands, submaxillary glands. So each one are present in two, I mean one pair. So total, this is one pair, this is one pair, this is also one pair. That means total three pairs of salivary glands are present in humans. And the parotid glands, they are present near the ear. So in a disease called mumps, these parotid glands are infected by the virus. By that, the gland will swell and will get a severe pain. Mumps, MUMPS, mumps. So the virus will infect the parotid glands, and there is a severe swelling and pain, and they are present near the ear. And sublingual, lingua means tongue, which are present under the tongue. Sublingual glands, maxilla means jaw. So they are present near the jaw, here and here, near the jaw. So these three types of glands produce a fluid medium which we call saliva. So saliva is a digestive juice. It's a digestive juice, saliva. And the pH is 6.8, very important. And there are three important components in the saliva. Water is more, okay, water is there, and mucus, a sticky substance is present. Most importantly, there is an enzyme called salivary amylase. This in as per the old name, it is called tyalin. P-silent tyalin. Salivary amylase or tyalin is present in the saliva, which can work on the carbohydrates. It can break the carbohydrates. So when it breaks the carbohydrates into simple sugars, then there is a change in the chemical nature of the food, So chemical digestion also takes place. So digestion starts from the buccal cavity or oral cavity. Note down. Salivary amylase acts on carbohydrates and changes into simple sugars. Then, most importantly, if you want to notice the functioning of salivary amylase, a small activity you can do. Simple, you take a small piece of the bread and put in your mouth and start masticating. Immediately when you place, then you do not find any taste. Just you masticate at least for 60 seconds, 1 minute. Then definitely you can find sweetness. The reason so here the salivary amylase or thylline, which is present in the saliva, acts on the carbohydrates present in the wheat, bread, and it changes into maltose. Maltose is a simple sugar, it is sweet in taste. Hence you are able to find the sweetness. Right. So generally we'll put the food in the buccal cavity, oral cavity directly. This is called ingestion. Ingestion, the first step in the process of nutrition and animals. Ingestion, next digestion, next absorption, next assimilation, and finally digestion. These are different stages, steps in animal nutrition. Ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and what do you say, digestion, the final one. So here in the mouth, with the help of the tongue, teeth, the saliva, the food is well masticated, and after well mastication, what we do, we'll swallow it. Before swallowing it, it forms a ball-shaped structure. The food I am telling, that is called bolus. Bolus. Well masticated food. The well masticated food which is ready for swallowing. No doubt. The well masticated food ready for swallowing is called bolus. This is all about oral cavity or buccal cavity. Do you have any doubts in this concept?
No doubt, sir.
Okay, okay, ma fine. We'll meet you in the next class. So, your class will start from by, timings. I have shared the timetable also with you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so 6:30 to 7:10. Okay, ma?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine, fine. Meet you in the next class in the next week. Bye. Have a nice day.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.